Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you with another interesting video. I want to talk about, I was going to do this video on in on my TV, you know how I do my TV format, but who I'm getting ready to talk about, I didn't want to give them that much attention. I don't want to give him that much attention, so I've decided to not do it in that format. I want to talk about single mother bashers here on YouTube. One in particular, his name is Minister Jap. Um, any of you watch YouTube on a regular basis, you guys may be familiar with him. Right now, he has a podcast called Say No to Single Mothers. And what he's doing is he's there's quite a few single mothers here on YouTube, but there's three of them on here that people that are people are constantly talking about all the time. That people like to talk about all the time. Um, Strong Mommy Chrissy, Jazzy, and Liv. For some reason, people like to constantly talk about those three single mothers. I mean, there's lots and lots of single mothers here on YouTube, but for some reason, people like to center in on those three single moms. And so he's doing, well, he's not, I think he's talking about some other ones too, but he did some podcasts talking about them, and here's some other single mothers too that, every time he does one, he showcases a single mother here on YouTube. So it's not just them, but he's talking about some other ones as well. And there's other men on here that like to bash single mothers. I've seen, just looking through my recommendations and stuff over the months, been seeing things pop up, about men talking about single mothers, saying don't date single mothers and all this kind of stuff, and particularly I'm gonna zero in on the ones that particularly likes to bash black single mothers. I'm gonna zero in on those guys. They really like to bash black single mothers. Um, First of all, I will say this. If you have to, there's lots of content here on YouTube. Um, if you have to create a channel on YouTube specifically to bash people and to humiliate people and to talk about people, if you have to base your whole channel off of doing that, then that's a problem. First of all, off the bat, that's a problem. If you're basing your whole channel off of uh, humiliating people, bashing people, other YouTubers, well, that's a problem. And it's I think people that do that, they lack intelligence. They lack maturity and they lack intelligence because there's so many other issues that we can that you could be talking about. There's so many other things that you could cover in your videos and talk about, but you choose to talk about a certain segment of the YouTube population, of all the people that's on YouTube and all the content that's on YouTube. You decide to zero in on a certain segment of people on YouTube and center your whole channel around it. That's a problem. It To me, when people do that, it lacks intelligence. Uh, they they don't feel good about themselves. They have low self esteem because anytime when you have to consistently talk about somebody else, anytime particularly if you're coming on YouTube and you have to consistently bash someone else and talk about somebody else, there's a problem. Everything people don't understand. Everything goes back to us. Everything starts with you. Everything starts with you. If you got to constantly talk about people, bash people, humiliate people, then it goes back to you, to looking in the mirror at yourself. What's going on with you that you feel the need to come on YouTube on a daily basis and bash people, humiliate people, talk about people? What's going on with you? And people like that are, they're miserable people. They're miserable. They have low self-esteem. They have low self-worth. They don't feel good about themselves. They're not happy with their own lives. You know, they lack intelligence. They lack creativity. Because if you're an intelligent person, they lack maturity. All those things. If you're an intelligent person and you're a creative person, there's no reason for you to come on YouTube and create a whole platform based on bashing people, downgrading people, and talking about people that haven't even done anything to you. They haven't done anything to you. They didn't. They didn't steal from you. They didn't hurt someone in your family. They didn't borrow money from you and didn't pay it back. They didn't personally do anything to you. You're talking about people that you don't even know. First of all, off the bat, you're talking about people that you don't even know. You don't even know these people. It's like, how am I going to base my whole channel off of talking about people that I don't even know? Talking about people that I have that never met before in my whole life. Even if it's about the celebrities, even if you talk about the celebrities, well, at the end of the day, we really don't know the celebrities. We really don't know them. We know of them. We see them on TV or whatever, but we don't really know them personally. And most importantly, we don't know what's going on in their heart. We don't know their heart condition. Only God knows that. So I just think that people that do that when they have these YouTube channels and they're basing their whole channel off of bashing people, humiliating people, bad mouthing people. It, it, there's got to be something going on mentally. It's got to be something going on emotionally. Well, the reasons why they feel the need to do that. You feel the need to come on YouTube and base your whole channel talking about people that you don't even know. Well, you say they putting certain content. Whether people are putting certain content, well, still, you don't know them. There's millions of people that's putting content on YouTube. There's millions of people that put content on YouTube. Millions of people. There are millions of people that put content on YouTube. There's all different types of content on YouTube, but you zero in on certain people. You zeroing in on these certain people, but you don't know these people. You still don't know them, even though they're putting particular content out there, but you don't know them. So something's going on with you. Your self esteem is low. You're not happy. You're not happy and content with your own life. And some people are just plain mean and evil. Some people are just evil. And when people do that from a spiritual perspective, when people do that, they're working for Satan. They're not working for God. They're working for Satan. They're on Satan's side of the fence. Because that's what Satan would want you to do. When you think about it, isn't that what Satan would want you to do? Satan would want you to come on YouTube and bash others and badmouth others and downgrade others. That's what Satan would want you to do. So you're doing his work. But let me tell you something interesting about Satan. He wants you working for him, but he don't care nothing about you. He doesn't have any love for you. He wants to destroy you too. He wants you to destroy others, and then in turn he wants to destroy you. Because he don't have no love for you. He don't care nothing about you. So that's the problem with working for Satan, is that you're working for somebody that don't care nothing about you. They want to see you destroyed. Marinate on that. Let that sink in. Okay. So that's what I think about those people that do that. You know, they center their whole channel off of downgrading and bashing people. And but these single mothers, these guys that come on here, such as Minister Jap, they like to come on here and downgrade single mothers. And people say, well he must have was raised by a single mother, or he hates his own mother. You know, those are the typical responses that people say. But when it boils down to it, he doesn't feel good about himself. A lot of guys that are raised in single parent households, I don't really know. I can't tell you whether he was or wasn't, whatever. Um, but even if he was, there's lots of people that are raised in single parent homes, and they don't bash single mothers. You know, um, now could he have dated a single mother and got hurt by a single mom, or maybe perhaps he was dating a woman that became a single mother at some point? That's a possibility. That's a possibility. You know, people think he had maybe had some kind of encounter with a single mother that wasn't the most positive type situation. Maybe he had dated a single mother and it didn't turn out well, so he decides to come on and bash. And that's the problem with a lot of black men. The problem with a lot of black men is that they have a bad experience with one or two black women, and it doesn't have to be that many black women for them to be scarred or whatever. And then they want to bash the whole black female population because of the bad experiences that they had with a couple of black women. As if to say that it's all black women's fault that, you know, ultimately he picked these women anyway, you know. So I mean, um, he could have had some negative experiences with single mothers. Could have been raised in a single parent home himself. There's a lot of men are raised in single parent homes and don't bash single mothers, you know. So I mean, my thought on him is that he doesn't feel good about himself. Something's going on with him. Well, for whatever reason it is, I don't know. I can't zero in on exactly one particular reason, but for whatever reason it is, he doesn't feel good about himself. I was watching Chloe. If you guys get a chance to check her out, her name is Chloe. Man, I can. This woman is deep. She talks a lot about. I brought her up when I did my hypergamy video. Check that video out. I mentioned her in that video. She talks about a lot about hypergamy, and she does videos telling black women, educating black women on femininity and things like that. And check her out. The sister is deep. She is deep. I can sit and binge watch her videos. I mean, she's so deep. Her videos are so good. I mean, she is so deep. I can binge watch her videos. And she mentioned something in one of her videos, or probably more than one of her videos. She mentioned these men that like to come on YouTube and bash women. She said that um, if they were finding their purpose in life or doing something productive with themselves, they wouldn't have time to come on YouTube and argue with women and bash women. That is an excellent point. She made that point, and I think that is an excellent. I'm gonna expand on that. I'm gonna expand on that. Um, that is an excellent point that she made. An excellent point. My thought is, what is it that you don't have going on in your life that you got time to come on YouTube and bash single mothers, argue with women? What is it that you don't have going on in your own life? Because, like she said, basically, if men that are out there finding their purpose, you know, they're doing positive things like starting a business or building a business, or they're working hard to support their families. They're trying to have something out of life. They're serving some men out here. They're trying to serve God. They're doing positive things to try to build themselves up, to make themselves. They're being better men. They're becoming better men because they're out here doing positive things. You got men out here that they work with little children. They work with the with the kids. They mentor the young people. They're doing all kinds of positive things to the point to where they don't have time to um, where they know that they might have had some bad experiences with women, but they don't have time to come on YouTube and bash a whole race of women because they're so busy doing all these positive things that a lot of men do. They're building a business. They're mentoring our young people. They're some men are serving God. They're trying to serve God. They're out here doing positive stuff. They're doing positive things. They're working hard to support their families. There are men, lots of men that do. They work hard to support their families. They're focusing on being good fathers to their children. They're mentoring the young people. They're concentrating on starting a business, building up their business, trying to get their business off the ground. Okay? They're doing those things. You got black men here on YouTube that it's this one called Immortal Minds or something like that. He calls himself Immortal Minds. I love this guy's videos. He has some very, very good videos. I can binge watch his stuff too. So you got some brothers here on YouTube that are positive. They're about positivity. Derek Jackson. I've seen another guy, black guy on here that he's giving people good advice and positive encouragement. So you got black men here on YouTube that's all about positivity, educating people, giving people spiritual enlightenment. They don't have time to come on here and bash whole races of women or single mothers and things like that. So I think that's a good thing. So my thought is, if you are out there, like Chloe said, if you're out there finding your purpose, doing something positive, working hard to support your family, starting a business, or doing something positive with your life, getting you some construction. Get some construction. If you was out there getting some construction, you wouldn't have time to come on YouTube and bash single mothers. Plain and simple. Or bash any women for that period. For that. Because there's a lot of men on YouTube that are not doing that. They're educating people. They're about positivity. They don't have time to come on here and bash mothers or bash women. Okay, so think about that. That's if you are busy working on yourself, if you have issues, you working on those issues, you're finding your purpose in life. If you were busy doing that and focusing on yourself, trying to better yourself, you wouldn't have time to come on YouTube and bash single mothers. You wouldn't have time for it. And the mere fact that you do have time for it, that's a problem. You have time to sit on here for hours and talk about single mothers. That's a problem. Something is going on with you. You got some issues going on within yourself. And personally, I feel like maybe you should seek some professional help. Seek God. So that's my take on that. I mean, they never hold the men accountable. They always bashing the women, but then they fail to realize that without a single mother, I mean, we couldn't become single mothers unless there was a man involved at some time or another. There's only a man makes a woman a single mother. See, like I said, everything falls back on the men. They want to blame black women for stuff that's happening in the black community. They want to blame black women for this, blame black women for that. But ultimately, it falls back on the men. It all falls back on the men because God made them the head. God instituted man as the head of the woman. So it all ultimately falls back on the man. See, a woman becomes a single mother because the man is not marrying her. The man doesn't the man doesn't make her a wife before a mother. Okay? So when a woman is a single mother, well, there's a man in that equation as well. Women can't make children by themselves. So they don't think about that. They never, ever, ever, ever hold the men. That's a common narrative of all these women bashers and single mother bashers here on YouTube. That's a common narrative. They never, ever, ever hold the men accountable. But it falls back on the men ultimately. They never hold the men accountable. Yes, should the woman have waited to secure a husband before she had children? Yes, without a doubt. You know, I'm always saying that here on my channel. Yes, women, I'm always telling women, make sure that you secure a husband before you become a mother. You know, if you look at my content, I'm always saying that. So, but the man should secure a wife. It works both ways. See, there's two sides to a coin. A man needs to secure a wife before he becomes a father, before he has children. He needs to secure a wife first. See, so and they never talk about these men out here that have multiple baby mamas, that have multiple children by multiple women. They never talk about them. They never address that. It's a common narrative with these guys. They never address that. They just attack the women. But they never say anything about the men. See? Because a woman can't do nothing to a man if he doesn't let her. You know? A woman can't have a baby by a man if he doesn't participate. He's a willing participant in a situation. There's two sides to every coin. See, but they never address the men. They never hold the men accountable. And that's the problem in the black community. The men are not held accountable for anything. It's a common narrative. They're never held accountable for nothing. And the women are blamed for everything. But ultimately it falls back on the man because the man is the head of the woman. So if they've been hurt by a woman, then they need to get some help. They need to seek God. They need to get professional help. They need to heal from whatever it is kind of broken heart that they had. They need to heal from that. Instead of coming on YouTube, they need to work on themselves. Instead of coming on YouTube, bashing a whole race of women, bashing all single mothers or whatever. Because it lacks intelligence. It really lacks intelligence when you don't have when you can't talk about you only talking about one specific topic, and that topic involves bashing and humiliating people, and that's all you can talk about, and that's all you can you don't have the enough intelligence to talk about other issues that's going on in the black community or other things that's going on even in the world. There's so many other things that you can talk about, but you choose to zero in on this segment of the population, and then you choose to bash them. So that means there's something going on with you. You lack an intelligence. You don't. You're mentally and emotionally scarred. You need to start working on yourself. Find your purpose. If you would find your purpose, like Chloe said, you wouldn't have time to be on YouTube bashing anybody. So let that sink in. Meditate on that. Marinate on that. Stay tuned. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. Hit me up in the comments section. Let me know. what you think. Um, Stay tuned. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. Peace and love. This is Sweet June.